The city was enveloped in a tense silence as the news once again flashed across every screen. Another victim of the infamous psycho killer. His methods were brutal, his identity a mystery. The name Jungkook was whispered with fear and dread. Yet no one knew his face. To the world, he was a ghost, a shadow that brought nightmares to life. Every time the news of his victims appeared on headlines, it sent terrors among the country. Vine turned off the TV. The news already disturbed her. It was a safe country, yet no FBI was able to catch the serial killer. She remembered how people had done protests against government to catch the killer. No family was safe in that country anymore. She got off the bed suddenly feeling very nauseous and stepped out to the balcony, wanting some fresh air. It had been 2 years now. She couldn't step out of her home unless for university or something extremely important. Ryan, I hope you know that. How much I hate you, Jungkook. I wish you were caught and never returned. She looked at the silent roads with eyes filled with longing. She could never imagine how painful it would be to be locked in your own home for such amount of time. Her body shivered. It was chilly at nights. She stepped back inside to grab something warm. In the meantime, she heard a crack. It was almost inaudible, making her turn, and before she knew, she was met by the sight which drained her blood out of her system. Beside the window, to the balcony, stood a man, a dagger nearly twirled around his fingers. It was surprising how he climbed 2 stories without making a noise and looked so composed. The dark eyes, the menacing grin, and the cut on his eyebrow. He looked nothing less than the psycho killer who appears on TV every day. Or maybe he was him. One stepped back. She felt like a deer caught in headlights. Another step back. Her body refused to act, scream, or at least try to run. She couldn't move her eyes off the man. Vine, who? That's all she could mutter. He took one step forward, and the way her body temperature fell was insane. Seems like the TV news for the past 2 years surely left people in a traumatic state. Don't move. I'll make it easier for you. If she met him in another setting, she sure as hell would fall for that deep, caramel rich voice. He stepped near her. She couldn't move. He held her. She couldn't push him away. When he smirked and brushed a stray hair off her face, he looked like the deadliest of evils no words could ever describe. Sleep was all he said before she smelled a strong scent and lost her vision. By the time she woke up, she found herself on the softest of surface. Her head pounded, and her eyes found it difficult to adjust to the surroundings. The memory of the devil returned, and her body turned cold again. She got off the bed immediately. It was not her room, but it was huge, almost as huge as a whole floor in her room. She found a huge portrait of a man filling up one wall, the same man from earlier, which meant she was in his room. Fear crept inside of her as she ran to the window that led to the balcony, but it was locked. Next, she ran to the door, but before she could open it, it opened itself. Her kidnapper entered, locking the door behind himself. Ryan, who are you? I have nothing to do with you. She finally managed to utter. I have a lot to do with you, doll. Her kidnapper replied. Now that she looked at him properly, he was tall, huge, muscles fighting to be ripped out of the shirt. She stood no chance against him. Ryan, let me go. My parents are going to be worried. Good. They should be ready for what's coming. He held her chin and traced his thumb against her lower lip. She had a little bit of hope for her kidnapper to not be the serial killer everyone was afraid of. He was rumored to kill his victims on the spot. He never brought them home. Vine, don't touch me. She tried to move away, but his stronghold held her in place. She whimpered when his touch only got brutal. When she couldn't pry him off, she bit him so hard she was sure a little more force and he would bleed, but he showed no signs of pain. Doll, is that all you've got? He let her go, and she stepped back immediately, creating a good distance between them two. Listen up, doll. I'll talk once, so don't make me repeat. He started, walking up to the bed, and took a seat. Don't ask me why you're here. I have my reason. Don't ask me when I will let you go. It depends on someone else. Not you, not me. Oh, don't ask who. Don't get on my nerves. Do as I say, and I won't kill you. You can go anywhere in the home, but try to escape, and your next stop will be basement. He was not Jungkook, right? He never kept his victims. He killed them brutally. Her face morphed into a painful cry. How could she not ask him to let her go? Why? And you won't hurt me? Depends on your behavior. He stood up, ending the distance between them two once again. His knuckles slid down her cheek to her neck until he twirled his finger around the strap of her shirt. Vine, and you won't touch me either. The way his eyes lit up with menacing darkness, like they were excited, hungry for blood. Can't accept that, doll. This time she couldn't even step away. A slight tug, and her shirt was slid off completely from one side due to his grip. Vine, who are you? Jungkook. To be continued.